great. Thank you for inviting me to do an on-demand employer spotlight. I am Sydney Brown. I am the campus recruiter at Gorman Trubitt, also known as LGT. I've been recruiting at LGT for almost 2 years now. I handle all the recruiting for internships and full-time positions. My background is actually in accounting. I did both my bachelor's and master's in accounting and did a couple of audit internships. I worked as a bookkeeper and a corporate accountant before transitioning over to recruiting here. I actually did an audit internship here at LGT before returning in HR. So, a little bit about us. We were founded in 1950. We are one of the largest single office CPA firms in the Southwest. We actually are now a 2 office firm. We have a office in Houston that we started a couple years ago. We are based in Uptown Dallas. We do services in various industries in the middle market. So most of our clients are also in that middle market range. And we're also a member of the Prime Global Alliance. So here are the client services we offer. We offer assurance services, also known as audit. We do tax, state and local tax. We have a financial advisory group. We do estate, gift, and trust. We do international tax. We do some small business accounting. And we also have an accounting and consulting services group. We, on top of our range of services we provide, we also have an award-winning culture. So here are some of the awards we've won recently. We've won the Best Companies to Work For in Texas, Accounting Today's Best Firm to Work For, Inside Public Accounting Top 200 Firms, and Best Companies Group Employer Choice Texas. So we work across 6 main industries. We have some other clients in other industries, but these are the ones that we specialize in. We do auto dealerships. We have a healthcare group. We do not-for-profit, construction, manufacturing, and real estate. So the nice part about working at a firm our size is that you get exposure to all of these different industries really early on. So if you down the line want to specialize in manufacturing or healthcare, you have the experience to do so. We also, starting out, let you see everything. And when you have a couple of years of experience down, you're able to choose 1 or 2 industries that you really like, and you can specialize in those. So why work at LGT? Here are some reasons that I think it's great. The career growth opportunities. Like I mentioned before, you get exposure to multiple clients and industries very early on. You also get growth opportunities in terms of getting your CPA. So as an accounting firm, CPAs are very important. We don't require it early on as an intern or staff, but if that's something that you want to do, we offer what is called a CPA bank, which is essentially money we give you to pay for exam fees and study materials. We also have what we call study hall, which is paid time off to study. So during our non-busy season, we give our employees half a day off on Friday, and they can use that time to study for the CPA exam. Some people have classes they have to take in order to get their 150 hours to qualify for the CPA. So some people use that time to take classes. And on top of that, we also offer tuition assistance for our full-time employees. Another great thing that I think LGT offers is intern to hire opportunities. So if you get hired on as an intern, we do that with the goal of hiring you on full-time as a staff or an associate. So we hire interns with the intention of hopefully them staying with us full-time afterwards. And then after the internships, we also are really big in promoting within. So we dedicate a lot of time to career development. We do promotions twice a year, so people have the opportunity to grow within the firm instead of going to other options to get those career opportunities. Outside of the career growth opportunities, we also have great community at LGT. We have what's called YP, which is our Young Professionals Group. That is something that we design for anyone under the supervisor level across all different departments. They do a lot of fun activities throughout the year, ranging from tailgating to networking opportunities. We do that so you can meet people around your same level at the firm. We also have a wellness program. A part of that program is meditations every Monday. We have a massage therapist come in once or twice a month. We also have a kindness committee. They are really big on spreading positivity throughout the firm. We have kindness awards throughout the year to recognize employees that do their best in creating a healthy work environment. We also have a DE&I committee that does a lot of fun events throughout the year. Anyone is open to join any of these committees I've listed. And even if you don't join a committee, there are fun events throughout the year that you can attend. We have a field day usually, we have holiday parties, we have different happy hours, just different things to keep the office lively and fun. So, going into our internship program. So, here is a brief description of our internship program. We offer audit and tax internships every spring. The internships take place the second week of January through about April 15th. We do it during this time because that is an accounting firm's busy season. That means that is the time where tax returns are due, or that is the time audits are due. So we have internships during that period just because there's more work available for our interns to do. And then also, we feel that it gives interns a better sense of what it's actually like to work at a accounting firm. Our internships are full time, 40 hours a week, and they are in person in our Dallas office. The internships are paid, and they are paid a competitive hourly rate. And we do hire occasional summer interns for our audit department, our financial advisors department, and our accounting and consulting services department as well. But those are more on a case by case basis. Every year, without a doubt, we will hire on interns in the spring. But for our summer internships, it is more depending on the work available, just because in the summer it's not as busy for accounting, and we do not want to bring on accounting interns if we don't have anything valuable for them to experience. So here are some qualifications and requirements for the spring internships. So to qualify for an audit or tax internship, you must be an accounting major. You have to complete intermediate accounting 2 prior to the internship start date. So what that means is if the internship starts January 2026, as long as you take intermediate accounting 2 before January 2026, you're qualified for the internship. So if you take it a semester before, that's fine, even if you haven't taken it during the interview process. Completion of an audit or tax class is preferred but not required. We have hired lots of interns that have not taken audit or tax yet. We do like it when you do have that class under your belt, just because you get a better sense of if you actually want to do that type of internship or not. But like I said, it's not required. So if you have not completed those classes yet, then that is okay. We would like students who are interested in obtaining their CPA license. At our firm, the CPA is not required until the supervisor level. So we don't require interns to have a CPA, and we don't even require, some more experienced staff to have a CPA. But we do like people with the desire to get it, just because we are an accounting firm, and having CPAs is obviously great for an accounting firm. We require people to have a reliable source of transportation. We are located in Dallas, so if you're doing a tax internship, we require that you have transportation to get to the Dallas office every day. If you are an audit intern, just because of the nature of audit, you will be traveling to client sites. So we do require that you are able to travel in the DFW area and to the Dallas office if you're doing an audit internship. The other requirements are that you must be able to work in person 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. This internship is full-time, and we designed it to replicate a real life public accounting job. So we do want you in person to get that full experience. We also find that it's better to have interns in person just because we do expect you guys to have a lot of questions and need some supervision. So it's easier to do that in person versus virtually. Okay, here's some other qualifications and requirements we have for the internship. We would like you to have a basic working knowledge of GAAP. GAAP is generally accepted accounting principles and tax laws related to all types of reporting entities and taxing authorities. These things you will learn during your intermediate accounting 2 class, which is why we require people to take it before the internship. So if you've taken those classes, you have the knowledge that we would expect you to have going into the internship. We also want our interns to be able to communicate orally and in writing with clients, taxing authorities, and partners and peers. So a big part of audit and tax is client facing. So being able to be professional and communicate well with people is really important. And then we also like you to have some experience with Microsoft Office. It's not required, but it is a plus for sure, especially Excel. As an accountant, you will be using Excel every single day. So it is nice to be comfortable with it. I do recommend if you are looking into doing a audit or tax internship that maybe you look online for a Excel course. I know YouTube has some free videos where it covers some commonly used formulas, and knowing how to do things like pivot tables is really important. So I would definitely do a refresh on those things. We also use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Microsoft Teams. But like I said, those things are a plus, but not required. Okay, so I'm going to go into our internship job descriptions. So these are going to be the job descriptions for both audit and tax internships. So an audit intern's main responsibility is performing audit procedures on sections as assigned on engagements and to help with any other duties necessary to complete an audit engagement. Another duty is to go to the client's office to perform audit work. I kind of mentioned that before. With audit, you are having to travel to client sites, but because we are a mid-sized local firm, our clients aren't all over the place. They're mostly going to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So as long as you're able to travel within that area, you will be fine. Another responsibility is to help prepare audit reports and audit work papers. You will be responsible for assisting in drafting financial statements. You will have to draft engagement and representation letters, enter fixed assets, binder setup, and other duties as assigned. A little bit on the tax intern responsibilities. You are responsible for organizing and coordinating clients' data for the accurate, timely completion of individual tax returns and simple to moderately complex corporate, partnership, S-corp, and trust tax returns. You will also be responsible for preparing various types of tax returns, ranging from individual, trust estates, corporate, S-corps, and state and local. You will have to do research on a lot of tax issues, analyze and summarize tax information into work papers, and other duties as assigned. So I would like to emphasize with both of these job descriptions, audit and tax, you'll see that we're not assigning busy work. So you're not going to be doing things that you maybe see a stereotypical intern do, like getting coffee or fixing the copier machine or anything like that. If you're an audit intern, you will be doing real audits. And if you're a tax intern, you will be doing real tax returns. So you get really valuable experience out of the internship. And that's another reason why we do like it full-time in the spring. So how to apply. If all this sounds good to you and you're interested in applying and learning more about us, here is how you do that. So first thing is when to start applying. We are an accounting firm, and a lot of accounting firms recruit really far ahead. So applications usually open around September. We start recruiting more than a year in advance. Right now, we're recruiting about a year and a half in advance. So right now is October 2024, or I guess it's November now. And we are looking for spring 2026 interns. So we do start hiring for those positions pretty far out. So it's important to plan ahead. I would say around your junior year, I would definitely start looking for internships. Sometimes you can even look around your sophomore year, depending on what classes you would have completed. So there are two different ways to apply for an internship. You can apply on Handshake or through our career website. We do on-campus interviews at UTA. We typically do them in the fall and in the spring, depending on how many applicants we get. If you are interested in doing an in-person interview, you must apply through Handshake and select an interview slot. If you have any questions on how to apply or select interview slots, you can visit the Handshake Help Center. They have a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that. You can also go to your career development center for help. There are people there who know how to use Handshake and who would be able to assist you in that. If you do not want to do an on-campus interview for any reason and virtual would be better for you and better for your schedule, we offer those interviews as well. For virtual interviews, you can apply through our LGT career website. I have included a link to our website above, and it's just www.lgt-cpa.com/careers. There you'll see all open positions we have at LGT. Our virtual interviews are held via Microsoft Teams. So as long as you have a working laptop or phone, you're able to do interviews virtually. So here is a step-by-step on how to navigate our career website. So when you click on that link that was on the last slide, it takes you to this page where you'll see careers and an orange button that says open positions. So if you click that button, it will take you to all of the internships and positions we have currently open. So as you see above, we are on the internship tab and you see spring 2026 tax internship. We also have a spring 2026 audit internship. So just click on whichever one you're interested in to apply. When you click on that, it'll take you to a page that summarizes all the responsibilities, essential functions, qualifications, things you need to know before applying. So if you feel like you qualify for the internship and you like the summary of responsibilities and it looks like something you're interested in, then you just click the blue button that says apply for this job. So once you click that button, it will take you to our application page where it will have, again, the summary of essential functions, requirements. But once you click apply for this job, you can attach your resume, leave your name, email, and that is how you apply. It's a super quick and easy application process. There's also a section where you can include your LinkedIn link if that's what you want to do. So here is our interview process. Our interview process looks a little different depending on if you do in-person interviews or virtual interviews. So I'll start with our on-campus interviews. So if you're doing on-campus interviews, they are held in the Career Development Center. These interviews are about 30 minutes long, and students will be interviewed by 1 to 2 people from our audit and tax team. Typically for these interviews, we only have one interview and then maybe an office visit afterwards. For virtual interviews, there are 2 rounds. So the first interview is a 30-minute HR screen. That interview takes place just to make sure each candidate meets the basic requirements for an internship and also to give the candidate information about LGT. The second interview is with 2 to 3 members of the audit or tax team, depending on which internship you're applying for. And this interview is 45 minutes long, so it's a little bit longer. I will say, because this is an internship, our interviews are not technical. So we're more trying to see the soft skills you have. Are you great at asking questions? Do you work well in a team environment? Are you willing to learn? Things like that. Technical skills will come later through the internship, but we do not expect students to come in with technical knowledge, so don't worry about that. So after interviews are conducted, we perform a standard background check. And after assessing the feedback from the interview and the background check, we make a hiring decision. And then after that, offer letters are sent. So it's a pretty straightforward process. So now that we've covered things about LGT, our internship programs, qualifications and requirements, and our application process, here are some tips I have for success. So, tips for a good resume. You always want to include your email, city, and state. I know some people provide their full address, but in my personal experience, that is not required at all. As long as you include the city, that will be fine. You want to include your phone number and LinkedIn page. Make sure the email you listed on your resume is a professional email that you check often. I know sometimes we have emails that we made several years ago. Some of us have made emails like in elementary school or junior high. So you want to make sure that the name is appropriate and that you would feel comfortable with an employer seeing your email name. In the objective section, specify the type of internship you're interested in, the semester and desired location. This is really helpful if the place you currently live is not where you want to intern. For example, if you were a person who lived in Houston, but you were looking for a Dallas internship, that would be a great thing to include in the objective. So I would say seeking a tax internship for spring 2026 in Dallas. And you see that in the example resume on the right. Include expected graduation dates, GPA of over 3.0, and CPA eligibility date if that is what you're interested in doing. So as you see in the example, they are doing a master's and bachelor's program, dual degree, so they included both dates. They have their accounting GPA and overall GPA. They have that their concentration is in tax, and they have when they're eligible for the CPA. I like including all of these things because these are questions that would be asked during the interview. So it's great to just have it in your resume so whoever is reviewing it knows if you qualify for the internship. I would also say for the GPA, if it's under 3.0, I would leave it out just because you don't want an employer to pass up on your resume because your GPA isn't the highest. I find that it's better to leave it out. And if they ask you about your GPA, you can tell them, but then also tell them the whole story. So maybe your GPA is lower because you worked, a full-time job, or you're balancing school and clubs and organizations. So it's just better to explain the full story versus just having the GPA and not being able to explain the reason why you have that number. Include dates for employment and any clubs and organizations included on your resume. You want to include quantifiable bullets that use descriptions that include skills that are transferable. A great tip is to reference the job posting description and include any of the items that are applicable to your resume. So if you see that, for example, problem solving is a skill that they like in a job description, and you did that in a previous job, I would definitely include that in your resume. You want to make sure that you're editing your resume depending on whatever job you're applying for. So here are some interview tips. Research the company before the interview. Check out our career website and social media pages so you know things about the firm before your interview. That makes you seem very prepared and excited about the position. Have answers and examples prepared for the interview. Here's some commonly asked questions that we ask during our interviews. So the interviewer may ask you why you're interested in accounting or audit or tax. They'll ask you what accounting classes you've taken and if you like them or if you didn't like them. They'll ask you why you're interested in LGT, what your long-term professional goals are, what makes you think that you're a great candidate for the position, and they may ask you to provide some additional details about the experience that's listed on your resume. So it's great to have these things prepared just in case you're nervous during the interview. You have them written down somewhere. So you're able to answer those questions if they're asked. Have several questions prepared to ask your interviewer. I always say bring a notebook or a journal or a piece of paper during your interview and jot down some questions beforehand. I understand that interviews can be nerve-wracking and it can make you a little nervous in the moment, and you may forget the questions that maybe you prepared the day before. So it's helpful to have them written down. A good interview is more like a conversation, and it goes two ways. Having thoughtful questions prepared makes you seem like a prepared candidate and shows the interviewer that you're excited and engaged. And like I said before, also feel free to jot down any questions that come up during the interview. It is okay to take notes. I would also say dress to impress. Even if the environment is more casual, I always say it's better to be overdressed than underdressed and be on time. I like to show up at least maybe 5 minutes early to an interview, especially virtual, just because you never know if there'll be any technical issues. Here's some other tips for success. Attend career fairs. LGT goes to a lot of the career fairs at UTA. We will be at Meet the Firms, and we attend Meet the Firms every year. So if you're interested in learning more about us, definitely stop by our table. Join accounting clubs and attend meetings. We have presented at a few accounting clubs at UTA. So if you are, wanting to learn more or have any questions and you see that we are presenting, definitely attend those meetings. Stop by our table during employer tabling sessions. So sometimes we'll attend employee tabling sessions where we will be there for a few hours to answer questions that you may have and also give some information about our positions that we have available. So if you ever see us, please stop by our table and we would be happy to chat. Thank you for letting me speak with you. If you have any questions about LGT, our internship program, how to apply, anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. My email is sbrown@lgt-cpa.com.